call me woke. I don't know what they mean by woke, but after nearly 4.5 decades of dedicated, unblemished public service, they woke me up.
Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings says he's in it to win it. He had the kickoff event tonight for his campaign for governor. Demings says he wants to turn the page on toxic and divisive politics and bring a new style of leadership to Tallahassee. Demings enters an already crowded field in the open race to replace Republican Governor Ron DeSantis.
WESH 2's Justin Shecker caught up with the mayor one-on-one after his major announcement.
This ballroom was packed with supporters as Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings made it official. He is running to become the state of Florida's 47th governor, and 1 year from now, he hopes to make history by becoming the state's first African-American governor.
This is not a right or left moment, but a right or wrong moment in our history. The power of the people is greater than the people in power.
Mayor Jerry Demings tells WESH 2, restoring power that he says has been stripped away from local governments will be a focal point of his campaign.
My colleagues in the state, I talk to them, they're frustrated. We are not doing some of the things that we could do as a state because we're not working together.
To address the affordability crisis and prevent Floridians from fleeing the Sunshine State, Demings says wages need to go up and the cost of housing needs to be stabilized.
My goal is to engage the private sector in working with the public sector to come up with solutions.
Former Republican Congressman David Jolly from Tampa Bay entered the race for the Democratic Party's nomination in June.
There's a lot we can do to change people's lives right here in Central Florida. Look, I respect that Jerry Demings has had a long career in this area, but he has to run a statewide race as well.
On the Republican side, there's former State House Speaker Paul Renner and Southwest Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, who has the endorsement of President Trump.
I'm not really thinking about Jerry or David. I think the concern that Floridians would have with both of them is that they're going to support the same radical Democrat agenda that has been soundly rejected in Florida.
Demings says the voters will decide who is the most experienced candidate in this race, but he believes his more than 4 decades in law enforcement and public service speaks for itself.
Some of these candidates are in their 40s, so I've been doing it almost as long as they've been alive.
Demings is asking for grace from Orange County residents.
I believe we can do it.
As he hits the campaign trail across the state and tries to become Florida's first Democratic governor since the 1990s. Covering Orange County in Orlando, Justin Shecker, WESH 2 News.